The College of Human Ecology of the University of the Philippines Los Baños, or CHE, was first created as the Institute of Human Ecology on November 28, 1974. It evolved into a full-fledged college in 1983. Now, CHE is the leading institution in the Philippines espousing human ecology as a discipline. CHE is the only academic institution in the Philippines offering a Bachelor of Science in Human Ecology and the first in Asia to have developed a Bachelor of Science in Human Ecology. The BS Human Ecology program produces graduates with an appreciation for and an updated knowledge of the interdisciplinary field of human ecology. These graduates understand human and social development in the context of the biophysical and social environments people live in. The program also produces professionals who can engage in sustainable national development initiatives, programs, and endeavors with a global perspective. Human Settlements Planning is based at the Department of Community and Environmental Resource Planning. It provides high-quality education, research, and public service in human settlements planning towards sustainable development. Human and Family Development is offered by the Department of Human and Family Development Studies. It advances the study and promotion of human and family development across the lifespan in the context of human ecology and social technology, which the Department of Social Development Services handles. It promotes effective and sustainable human organizations and social institutions toward resilient, inclusive, and enhanced human ecosystems. The college also offers a Bachelor of Science in Nutrition, where students are trained to plan, manage, and evaluate community food and nutrition programs and training, operate food services in institutions and communities, plan and prepare therapeutic diets, and conduct research in nutrition and related fields. CHE's nutrition program is housed at the Institute of Human Nutrition and Food. IHNF aims to promote optimum nutrition by advancing knowledge, cutting-edge research, and dynamic public service toward leadership and excellence in the study and practice of human nutrition and food. The BS Nutrition program offers core and specialized courses in the subfields of public health and community nutrition, clinical nutrition, and food service. The college also offers graduate degrees, namely the Graduate Diploma in Environmental Planning, Master of Clinical Nutrition, Master of Professional Studies in Food and Nutrition Planning, Master of Arts in Environmental Planning, Master of Science in Applied Nutrition, MS Family Resource Management, and PhD Human Nutrition, and PhD by Research in Human Development. These graduate programs aim to capacitate professionals in their respective fields and strengthen their contributions to human ecology and nutrition knowledge. CHE continues to innovate and co-create concrete actions that try to address the challenges of the times in instruction, research, and extension. This promotes future-proofing for the institution, its students, faculty, research, extension, and administrative staff, including key stakeholders and partners. The college's faculty and teaching staff are equipped to deliver education in these volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous times. CHE's research is focused on the pursuit of knowledge to address and respond to global risks and sustainability issues, building of skills, infrastructure, and research management skills, and enhancing interdisciplinary collaborations and partnerships with industry leaders and the private and public sectors. The college is also the home of the Journal of Human Ecology and Sustainability, which publishes interdisciplinary research on all aspects of human and environment interactions, focusing on human and family development, food and nutrition, social development, and community and environmental resource planning. The college has various flagship extension and public service programs that cater to the needs of various stakeholders, upholding the values of human ecology and further harmonizing people's relationships with their environments and communities. It also organizes seminars, webinars, fora, and other programs that reach out to stakeholders through various platforms. As it moves toward a future that is beset by challenges and opportunities, CHE remains steadfast and proactive in formulating and delivering instruction, research, extension, and public service programs to develop future-proof human ecologists and nutritionists of the nation for the nation. CHE will continue to expand its positive impacts to community, national, and international engagements by advocating a sustainable future. The College of Human Ecology continuously strives for innovative instruction, meaningful interdisciplinary research, and empowering public service toward a future-proof human ecological theory and practice.
A center of excellence, a nurturing space for innovation, creativity, and academic freedom. This is the University of the Philippines, Los Baños. As a constituent university of the University of the Philippines system, UPLB is a leading national higher education and research institution in various niche areas. Grounding itself on the needs of national development, UPLB cultivates well-rounded and critical leaders who are ready to lead breakthroughs and innovations. Through its industrial and academic partnerships, UPLB propagates its gains to advance inclusive development in various sectors. Educational institution that upholds honor, excellence, and public service.
Center of Knowledge, Innovation, History, Culture, and Biodiversity. This is the University of the Philippines, Los Baños. UPLB found its home at the foot of the legendary Mount Makiling in Los Baños, Laguna, a short distance from Laguna de Bay, the country's largest lake. It has its beginnings in 1909 as the UP College of Agriculture, a tent school for a handful of students. A year after, the Forest School, or what was to become the College of Forestry, also set up its home in Los Baños. In 1972, the UP College of Agriculture and the College of Forestry, that had by then become renowned institutions, were granted full autonomy as the University of the Philippines, Los Baños. Instruction, research, and extension in agriculture and forestry in the country took root and flourished in UPLB. Through its strength in these two fields, UPLB established niches in various areas: biotechnology, engineering, veterinary medicine, natural resources conservation, environmental science and management, human ecology, food science, economics and management, public affairs, and development communication. It drew its strength in the arts and other fields of science, from harnessing its expertise and human resource in the biological, physical, and social sciences. Today, UPLB degree programs continue to dominate over its counterparts. Over the years, UPLB has developed graduate programs that continue to attract students far and wide, including collaborative programs with international universities in food security, biodiversity conservation, and development. To make graduate programs more accessible to professionals, UPLB offers them off-campus. Recently, UPLB established the UP Professional School for Agriculture and the Environment in Mindanao, the country's food basket, in order to help build the knowledge capital that the country needs to attain food security. Instruction in UPLB is enhanced by a strong and vigorous engagement in research and public service that enables it to produce knowledge and generate technologies and innovations that promote sustainable living, making it a strong force in the war against hunger and poverty in the country. Extension and public service are the mechanisms by which UPLB brings this knowledge and technologies to the people, as well as for it to know what they need and to help shape policies in the country. UPLB's reputation as a graduate and research university was formed through the continuous aspiration for excellence and the mutual reinforcement between instruction, research, and public service and extension. It brings in partnerships with local and international universities and provides mobility to faculty members, researchers and scientists, and students, and enhances their competitiveness. Instruction, research, and extension and public service in UPLB reflect the dynamism, honor, and excellence that its forebears set as a standard for its leaders to aspire for. This and an enabling environment for creativity and innovation among its people make UPLB a globally competitive research and graduate university that contributes to national development.
The world is in a constant state of change now more than ever. It's a world that requires resilience, flexibility, and innovation to overcome challenges and to pursue growth. That is why the University of the Philippines Los Baños is pursuing future-proofing initiatives to provide agile leadership and develop local and global communities amidst shocks and disruptions in an ever-changing world. Guided by compassion, an openness to working together, and the daring to seek out breakthroughs, UPLB constantly pushes for academic excellence, produces relevant research, establishes academic and industry partnerships, and cultivates creativity, critical thinking, and innovation. To keep up with the fast-changing world and to strive for inclusivity in development, UPLB seeks to level the playing field and expand avenues for acquiring new knowledge. It is reshaping the learning experience, enabling students and educators to continue with the learning process in vastly different learning conditions. It is expanding its academic programs and supporting initiatives to create a conducive learning environment. To address the growing complexities of modern problems, UPLB continues to break barriers across disciplines to produce cutting-edge innovations and solutions that serve the needs of various communities. It is taking on challenges in food security and sustainability, and coordinating research efforts to direct the university's resources toward critical research areas, making sure that the university-generated knowledge can reach its intended stakeholders and be applied to real-life contexts. UPLB is dedicated to its commitment to contribute to public good and social welfare as it continues to work with the local government and the community to address their most pressing needs. Amidst its engagements, UPLB remains as one of the top regional and global universities and continues to be recognized in the country and across the world. As the national university, UPLB aims to be a steadfast partner in development, as a producer of new approaches that minimize the cost and impacts of future shocks, and by honing leaders committed to knowledge creation, innovation and cutting-edge research, and public service. This is UPLB's roadmap to be an impactful institution in a constantly changing landscape. Responsive, innovative, future-proof.
For over 100 years now, UPLB has nurtured a research culture that enriches instruction and enhances creativity and innovation in its faculty. This has made the university a wellspring of solutions to challenges in food security, ecological integrity, public health, and the environment. The complexity of these challenges took the university's research focus from boosting production into sustainability, the interconnectedness of man and his environment, and equitable development. Through the confluence of strengths in its niches, UPLB became a research hub in sustainable agriculture and forestry, climate change, public health, natural resources and biodiversity conservation, energy development, food and nutrition security, and disaster risk reduction. With its research partners, the university continuously contributes to knowledge and technological development in these various areas. As UPLB moves forward, more of these partnerships will take shape for the attainment of inclusive development. Aside from enriching instruction, its research tradition is aimed at making the university relevant to the life of our people through public service and extension work. This ensures the appropriateness of technologies and knowledge products and enables it to contribute to policy making and governance. Research, instruction, and public service. Each one enables the others to make the university a dynamic powerhouse that contributes to the attainment of inclusive growth and national development.
Okay po, magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. It's an honor to have a lot of our colleagues from development sector. And also I can see some of our alumni who are here tonight for the info webinar, exploring the Masters in Social Development and Sustainability program, the newest program under the College of Human Ecology, of course, the Department of Social Development Services. We'll be doing some background, and giving insights into the curriculum and application process of MSDS. Again, what is MSDS? Our Masters in Social Development and Sustainability. Before we begin, we'd like to know a little bit about our audience here. Can you write your name in the comment section? as well as your location. Will that be okay for our colleagues? We would like to see our audience being engaged, ano? Tonight, I think some of you might be just going home from work or might be settled down already. You would like to know a little bit more about you, please type, no? If you can type in the comment section your name and where you are, particularly your city, siguro, and province, we would love to know that. So we have Luis at home in LB, I assume. We have somebody from Quezon City, Pasig. Wow, we also have, I think it's our alumni, Francis Miko from Paris, Cebu City, Mandaluyong. Ayan. So we have a great variety of our colleagues, no, and alumni also. Pila, there's someone from Malabon. Of course, we have from Marinduque, Pampanga, and we have from Davao, Rizal, no? So some of them are alumni, very supportive of our program. We will be mentioning some more the location of our colleagues. You also have from Nueva Vizcaya, yeah, that's Nueva Vizcaya. I think it's a well-represented crowd from Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao. Now, I won't take it any further, no? To give a welcome remarks and rationale of our info webinar, may I call on the Dean of the College of Human Ecology, Associate Professor Jennifer Marie S. Amparo. Dean Jenny.
Thank you very much, Sir Ron. Isang makaekolohiyang pantaong gabi sa ating lahat. Ayan. Good evening to everyone. Thank you, Sir Ron, and also to my colleagues here from the College of Human Ecology, Department of Social Development Services. Also, a warm good evening to our alumni, of course, from UPLB and of course, UP System, and coming from the different partner organizations and companies and industries who are here this evening. I know that it's the end of a long work week. And I think everybody's full in terms of our workload. But thank you very much for giving your time for this orientation and webinar about the Masters in Social Development. The College of Human Ecology is one of the colleges of UPLB. I know that the UPLB graduates and alumni misses our campus, one of the greenest campus in the UP system. I think most of us would really like to come back to the university. No? Parang it's always a a refreshing thing to go back to the university. And we see a lot of our alumni here who has been engaged with different organizations, whether government, civil society, and private sector as well, particularly those working in the field of social development and in the field of sustainability. Okay, could I have maybe a heart from our dear audience of those who are working in their corporate foundation or maybe their CSR office in their company or their organization? Ayan, pa-heart naman po tayo. So we'll know. Okay. Maybe a thumbs up for those working in the NGO, non-government organizations, or civil society. Thank you, Jaisal. Hi, Jaisal. Ayan. And those working in the government, like us here, Nila Sir Ron, Ma'am Ems, and of course, Ma'am Chris. Ayan. Whether you're also teaching in a state university college, or maybe working in one of our departments or offices, no, from the government. Ayan. So we have, I think, sabi nga ni Sir Ron, we have a diverse of participants now, and I think we're live as well, no? And this is also being recorded because we know that we really need to guide because this is the first time that we will offer the Masters in Social Development Services and Sustainability program here in the University of the Philippines, Los Baños. Actually, 2 weeks ago, I was in UP Visayas. They're also offering a master's program. And when we look at sustainability, no, it's becoming a kind of a buzzword. No? But for us here at the College of Human Ecology, sustainability is nothing new. Sustainability is something that it is a core of why we are doing studies or doing solutions and projects for development, social development. It's basically because we want to sustain the well-being not only of our environment but also of our communities. And I know all of you are here right now. Our hearts are really in that space. No, it's really ensuring and for these um, principles, now, particularly of wellness, of well-being, of our communities, of our environment, to be ensured across time, across generation. I think for some of us, it might be professional, the reason why we're here. Most of us are really more personal, meaning it's really our advocacy, no, to promote social development and sustainability. This program is really unique in a way. No, you will hear different programs internationally. We do have partners from the Asia Pacific Rim University of Sustainable Cities and Landscape, and also the Society of Human Ecology. You know that in abroad you will see when they talk about sustainability, it's very focused on one aspect of sustainability. But for us, we know that the reason why we're doing sustainability and the core of which is really the development of our communities, and also, no, ensuring human ecological security. So I hope most of you will be part of the first cohort. No, you'll be the pioneer batch for this master's program. Here in the Department of Social Development Services, we usually call our batch or have names for our batches, no, using precious metals, because we know that you know sometimes we disregard this precious metal. It's just basically unpacking it, no, unearthing them, particularly understanding their value as well. So similar with this course, the Masters in Social Development and Sustainability is not just about theory and concepts on the intersection of social development and sustainability, but also look at real life solutions, no, and best practices or practices that works across the different sectors as well. We value here applied solutions, applied applications of what we're doing. That's why in the early onset, no, of the requirements, one of the requirements of the program is for us to identify a particular project that we want to explore, that when we come back to our home units, whether in the NGO, government, and civil society, we could actually implement it. No? And with this, what we call the re-entry action plan, we hope, no, that through the different courses that you will take in the Masters in Social Development Services, we will help refine it, unpack it, and hopefully become a more impactful program for our communities. And who also to co-produce with our cohort, with our batchmates, with our partners, and with, of course, our faculty members and researchers here in the university, not only here in UPLB, but also in other international as well as regional partners. We hope to co-produce with them sustainable solutions. So for this info webinar, we decided to conduct this because, of course, number one, this is the pilot batch that or the first batch that will take the Masters in Social Development and Sustainability. Second, of course, as we go through our professional work, no, sometimes we really need guidance in all the administrative tasks to complete our applications. And also, third, there are still a lot of questions, no, about the program, how will it be administered, etc. So through this info webinar, we hope to clarify all of that. So I know that we invest, no, not only resources but also time, no? I know that your time is very precious, so we want to be clear and guide you in your journey as you complete your applications for the Masters in Social Development Services and Sustainability. And hopefully, we could see you here in UP Los Baños via Zoom, face to face, or also in community works in this program. So later on, we will have a Q&A session. The graduate school is also here. We'd like to thank, of course, Dean Jomar and Nimvi for being here to orient us about the graduate school platform where you could send also your application. No? And I'd like to also thank, of course, the GPMC, of course, the committee that will help you and guide you throughout the journey, and my colleagues from the Department of Social Development Services who will be very much open this night, Friday night, to answer questions and clarifications about our master's program in social development and sustainability. So with that, I'll give the floor to you again, Sir Ron, and maraming salamat po. Hope to see you all here in Los Baños.
Thank you so much, Din Jenny. Can we give Din Jenny a clap emoji on Zoom? No, so I think it's like a deja vu. We're back in like COVID time, right? Because we came back with face-to-face classes and now we're starting to do Zoom. But I think there's a lot of benefit in doing things online because we can do things from the comfort of our homes. One of the things that I think Dean Jenny said, no, in DSDS we have our batches are named after metals, no? So there's aquamarine, platinum, diamond. So we're excited also if we can have that as well, no? The name of the batch for the MSDS program. And before I go in, yeah, there's Batch Ruby here. See, Ma'am Giselle, no? Hi, Batch Ruby. And of course, before I give the floor later on for the introduction to the master's program, it's a professional master's, as what was mentioned by Dean Jenny. And this it's a reason because it is tailor fitted really for professionals who are already have a lot of experience, or you're not just learning from your colleagues, but you're also learning from your classmates. And of course, it's non-thesis, but at the same time, there's still rigor in it. And now to present the more exciting part, like what we've been saying, we're just giving a little bit of a tidbit of what to expect in this master's program in social development and sustainability. I will now give the floor to the co-chair of the Graduate Program Management Committee of the Masters in Social Development and Sustainability, Associate Professor Maria Emilinda Mendoza. Ma'am Emmy.
Yes, thank you, Sir Ron. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, we can hear you very well, Ma'am Emmy.
Okay, thank you, Sir Ron, and thank you for the rest of my colleagues who are here right now. We would have wanted to be here, all of us from the Department of Social Development Services, but it's what they call Hell Week in UP right now, and all of us are deep into the remaining days, no, and the exams and the requirements for the semester. So, konti lang kami dito. But I am so excited to see familiar faces as well as those who had communicated with us earlier because of their interest for the MSDS program. So, Sir Jazz, you'll be sharing the screen, right? So, I am tasked to give a very brief overview of the Masters in Social Development and Sustainability program. And as you have heard, this is the newest degree program coming from the College of Human Ecology, UPLB. Next, Sir Jazz. Okay, so just a very brief statement about the department. If you become our students, you'll know more about us. But at this point, no, let me introduce DSDS as one of the units under the College of Human Ecology, UPLB, which is now under the leadership of our Dean, Dr. Jennifer Marie S. Amparo. And the main goal of DSDS is really to assist human organizations and social institutions so that they can engage in sustainable human environment interaction. The research and extension agenda of the department is anchored on its SDMP, or the Social Development and Management Program, which focuses on four key thrusts of the department, and this is how we engage our students, and our instruction, research, and extension are often arranged, no, and navigated along these four components. So one is social technology for institution building. We also have a lot of engagements, research and extension program, and we have courses that caters to consumer protection and stakeholder satisfaction. Third would be climate change and disaster risk management. And lastly, we also focus on sustainable livelihoods and enterprise development. Next, Sir Jazz. Okay, so what is MSDS? Let me go to the next slide right away. So the MSDS program offers a human ecological perspective to social development and sustainability that views human ecosystems as a basic unit of analysis. So in doing so, it can both expand and deepen the current understanding and our framing of the role of human ecosystems and the value of human ecological security in the age of the Anthropocene. And that is what we've been looking at as our age, our period in time, wherein there's just so much. There are a lot of wicked problems, and there are a lot of things happening attributable to the impact of humans on the environment. Now, in terms of its alignment with the sustainable development goals, we are very big in aligning with SDG 1, that's eradicating extreme poverty by reducing inequality, which is SDG 10. We would also like to impact in terms of SDG 12, responsible consumption and production, specifically by contributing the demand for sustainability reports. Specifically, SDG 12.6 is really trying to target increasing the number of companies and organizations with sustainability reports. And lastly, SDG 13, combating climate change and its impact, and more specifically, the target of SDG 13.3, which is to improve education, awareness raising, and human and institutional capacity on climate change mitigation, adaptation, impact reduction, and early warning systems. But this is not to say that we are not concerned with the other SDGs, but this would be the major ones that we would like to focus on with our MSDS program. Next, please. So, what would be the program learning outcomes of MSDS? When we proposed and crafted this MSDS, this would be the program learning outcomes. So at the end of the program, we would like to see students, and we will be engaging them and preparing them to be able to, one, discuss complex human and environment interrelationships and dynamics to diverse audiences. Second, that they will be able to analyze complex social development and sustainability problems with a systems thinking approach. Third, we want to produce graduates who can evaluate evidence to formulate, design, and organize sustainable strategies and interventions for social development and sustainability. Fourth, graduates who will be able to collaborate with policymakers, other development professionals, and stakeholders in social development and sustainability initiatives. And lastly, graduates who can practice engagement in sustainability initiatives at local, national, and global social development programs. Next, Sir Jazz. So those are the program learning outcomes. Now, how is the MSDS program structured? So ano ang mga courses, paano sila i-take, ilan per semester. So the program structure actually would look like this. In the slide, we will be having 12 units of core courses. So that's 4, 3 unit courses. So core courses yon. And then you will have the chance, if you enroll in the MSDS program, to specialize and take specialization courses in either of the three tracks, no, or specialization courses. So we have social technology for social development and sustainability track. We have a track on social development and sustainability for disaster risk management, and lastly, on sustainable livelihoods and enterprise development. So that's equivalent of 15 units all in all. Then, as a culminating course, we have our field studies. This is not an this is a non-thesis degree program, but in lieu of the thesis, we will have a 3-unit field studies as the capstone course, no, for the MSDS program, and of course a graduate seminar for a 1-unit course, for a total of 31 units all in all. And if we take it full time, it can be taken as short as 1 year. No, that's 2 semesters plus a mid-year. Okay, so how does a regular full load would look like? So if you're going to take it on a regular basis, full load with 1 year, so it will look like this. For the first semester, you will take the core courses that would be SDS 201, SDS 202, and SDS 03, plus 1 specialization course, so for a total of 12 units. For the second semester, this would be all specialization courses, so 12 units of that, plus our methods course, which is AIRS 282. And for the mid-year, you will be taking up 1 unit seminar course, plus the completion of your SDS 298 or your field studies, which, by the way, as early as the first sem, when you first come in as a student and engage with us, we will already be building towards the SDS 298 or your field studies. Okay, next, Sir Jazz. Okay. Now, if you opt for still, it's considered a regular taking regular program, still full load, but for 1.5 years, that's 3 semesters instead. So we're just going to spread out the courses so that you're going to have 12 units for the first semester. So those will be the core courses of 201, 202, and 203, and 1 specialization course. For the second semester, we can reduce it from 15 units to 12 units. 3 specialization courses plus the methods course, 282. And for the last semester, the third semester, is going to be another specialization course plus the field studies, 298, and 299, the seminar course. So that's still considered regular full load. Next, please. Now, until 2 years, it can be considered as regular full load if you find that the previous options are heavy for you, especially if you're working. You can take it for 4 semesters or 2 years, no, with all the courses spread out through those 4 semesters. 9 units, 9 units, 9 units on the third sem, and the last 4 units during the second sem. Okay. Now, if that doesn't suit you, next please, Sir Jazz, you can take it on a part-time basis for 2.5 years, and again spread it further to 5 semesters, no, or 2.5 years. So instead of 12, you take 6 units instead for the first sem, 6 units for the second sem, 9 units for your third sem, 6 units for your fourth semester, and for the last semester, still the 299 and 298 courses. Okay, so we have a lot of options depending on capacities and all our other concerns in our lives. Next, please. So for the first semester of 2025, 2026, which will be our initial semester, this would be the courses that we will be offering. And I hope that if that all of you, some of you will be part of our first cohort, first batch, no, or our opening batch. So this would be the courses that you'll be taking. 201, which actually is Perspectives in the Intersectionality of Social Development and Sustainability. SDS 202, which will be on Social Innovations. SDS 203, which will be on SES, no, the Social Ecological Systems for Social Development and Sustainability, and SDS 221, which is a specialization course under the DRM track, no? So, or specialization track. Okay, so next, please. So, how would these courses be delivered? No? So, what is the mode of delivery for these courses? The program will be delivered using a blended learning mode. Schedules will be arranged with the faculty in charge for each course, no, in collaboration and in consultation with the rest of the students in each class. No? So this is not hybrid. It's going to be a blend between face-to-face and online delivery. Next, please. So when will the class meetings be held? No? So what would be the schedule? How would it look like? So for those of you who are working full-time, this would be a very interesting, this is one of your major concerns, no? So our class schedule for this coming semester, the first semester, which is our initial semester, we will have 2 courses, no, under on Thursday and Friday, 5:30 p.m. to 8:30. So that is after office hours. And 2 more courses on Saturdays, no, 9 to 12, one course, and the other course for for the 2 to 5 p.m. Time slot. So Thursday, Friday, off work hours, no, and Saturdays 2 more courses, and so it can fit into our work schedule. Next, please. Okay. Now, for those who are interested, how much will it cost me, no, to take the program? So this is a sample computation indicative of the whole program. Now, there's an application fee for 500 pesos once you start your application. And then the tuition fee is really 1,500 per unit, no? And that's, I guess, one of the cheapest that you can find in the Philippines for good quality education. So if we have 31 units, times 1,500 per unit, that is under current rates 46,500 pesos. Okay, and then there would be some miscellaneous fees, library fees, etc. Approximately for around 1,061 pesos, and other fees for 130 pesos. So all in all, for the whole program, if we use the current rates, which will be the rate for the first semester, it's gonna cost us 48,200 approximately. No? So of course I cannot promise because sometimes we have inflation, so I cannot promise beyond the first semester if there's going to be an increase. But even if there are increases in our tuition fee and miscellaneous fees, no, I tell you, it's still going to be one of the cheapest quality education around. Okay, so now, where will the classes be held? No? So, saan tayo magko-conduct ng classes? Now, if it is face-to-face, it's going to be in the classrooms within UPLB, mostly in the College of Human Ecology, as well as the classrooms under the UPLB Graduate School. For online classes, we usually use Zoom and Google Meet, no? For our classrooms, and we usually have our uh, LMS also, whether it is Canvas or uh, our Google Classrooms, no, as the main platforms. Okay, so maybe some of you are really thinking, is it really feasible? Is it really manageable to take this course full time while also having a full time job? We have thought about this very, very carefully because, as you know, our target are really professionals and those who are working in the development sector, working on sustainability as well as social development. But that is not to discriminate if you're not in that kind of career yet, but you want to shift into a career on social development and sustainability, you're also most welcome. So, is it manageable to take it full time? Now, for the first semester, this is possible since all the courses are going to be scheduled after office hours and during weekends. But for succeeding semesters, this will be subject to the schedule of units uh, offering the courses. No? Because some of our courses, no, depending on your track, no, or your specialization courses, will be taken from other units of the university. If you don't want to take the courses that we can offer you in the department, then you can really opt to learn more and take on the other courses or subjects from the other programs. Their schedule, however, will not be within our control kasi depende yan sa kung sino nagtuturo. Okay? Next would be, will there be an MSDS off-campus offering? Okay, now, with this initial offering during the first semester, there will be no off-campus offering of the MSDS. No? But for succeeding semesters, we are preparing to offer our subjects, no? And our courses off campus, but that will be dependent on whether or not there's enough demand wherever we want to offer it. We already have two institutional ways, no, or paths for offering it off campus through the PISAE, or the Professional School for Agriculture and the Environment. So we have a campus, PISAE campus in UP, no, in Panabo City, Mindanao, and UPLB is also preparing one in Baguio, no, and depending on memorandum of agreement and MOUs, we can also offer it in partnership with other SUCs in other areas in the country. No? So we can have host organizations and institutions. Again, this will be dependent on the demand and the agreement. No? But for this coming first semester, there will be no off-campus offering, just blended face-to-face and online. And if it's going to be face-to-face, it's going to be in the beautiful campus of UP Los Baños. What are the admission requirements? Okay, so the UPLB Graduate School have a set of admission requirements. No, there are policies and guidelines to that effect, and you can look at, we have NIMV, I guess, from the graduate school later on to to navigate with us, no, the GSAS or the Graduate School Application Admission System, no. But aside from that, these are some of the requirements that are we're very keen about. So of course, you need to be a graduate of a BS degree, a bachelor's degree, preferably in human ecology or on a social or natural science that is related, but related to human ecology. From any recognized institution of higher learning. There are questions for us. Chem-eng ako, agriculture ako, pwede po ako dyan. Pwede po, wala pong problema. Okay? And then, of course, because we're targeting professionals or they're already clear with, relatively clear with what they want in life, no, at least 1 year experience in the field of social development or sustainability from any sector. Maybe you've been working with government, the private sector, or civil society. That would be a plus factor to have work experience, no? And we do review, no, your admissions document. So you have to pass the panel review of the postgraduate admissions committee, no? We have existing graduate program management committee, no? And we will be reviewing all admissions. Okay. How do you apply? You have the graduate school admission systems or GSAS, and that will be discussed with you by no other than our representative from the UPLB graduate school from here on. So with that, I thank you. We will have more time, hopefully a little bit later, for discussions and questions that I might not have covered with my very quick um, orientation of the MSDS program. Thank you. Back to
Thank
you,
you.
Sir Ron and Mamape.
Thank you so much, Prof. Emmy. Now we get really excited with the program now with the background that was given to us. Again, clap emoji for Prof. Emmy, of course, who is our co-chair of the GPMC. There are a lot of questions that are coming in the chat group, in the GC, no, in the chat room here in on Zoom, and we will be getting all these questions and we will be answering them later. And siguro isahin ko na po yung una na siguro doesn't of course baccalaureate degree. I think yun yung laging tanong. Ire-ready na po ng ating mga kasamahan yung answer nila later on kung pwede bang civil engineer or ano bang course. Sasagutin po namin yan mamaya. And to give us a background, a little bit of background on the specific application process, because of course we want to apply, but there's always an app that we have to use. That's right, no? And we have documents that we need to prepare. And to guide us on the interface of the application, and not just the interface, but also the requirement of the graduate school, may we call on the scholarship officer of the UPLB Graduate School, Ms. Nimvi Maria A. Doldolea.
Good evening po. Hello, rinig po ako, sir?
Yes, we can hear you po, Ma'am
Okay
Nimvi.
po. So, good evening to everyone. I'll be sharing my screen po for my presentation.
Yes, we can see your, ano na po, your screen.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Yan. So, good afternoon po. So, I'll be discussing the admission application for UPLB Graduate School. So, first po, ito po yung interface ng Graduate School Admission System. So, ito po yung gagamitin ng mga applicants to submit their application. So, the app is currently in alpha phase. So, ayun po, kailangan po muna din mag-sign up for an account before they can submit their application. So, ito po yung GS application process. So, sa sign-up page po, doon po nila ilalagay yung personal information, contact details, employment, organizations, publications, scholarships, and academics. So, sa part po ng sign-up, doon po nila i-upload ang kanilang mga transcript of records, and diploma. Once they have an account na po, that's when they can create an application. So they can choose the degree program that they want to apply and submit the additional requirements and also the recommendations. So for the recommendations po, ang kailangan po na gawin dito is to input the email address of the referee na gusto po nilang mag-send sa kanila ng recommendation. So, please make sure lang po na tama po yung email address since automatic na po ipapadala ng system yung instructions and yung recommendations sa referee. And last po is yung sa dashboard. So, dito na po makikita yung status ng application, whether it's awaiting graduate school screening, awaiting unit evaluation, and if may result na po yung inyong application. So, share ko lang din po yung sa mismong website ng graduate school. Dito. Ayan. So, ito po yung website ng graduate school. So, dito nyo po makikita yung graduate school admission system. So, admissions, then to how to apply. And meron din po dito yung GSAS manual. So, dito niyo po makikita yung mga instructions, specific instructions kung paano po mag-sign up. So, kailangan lang pong i-fill out yung mga info na to, as mentioned earlier, personal information, contact details, employment, organizations, publications, scholarships, and academics. So, once okay na po ang inyong sign up, that's where you can create an application. So, ito po yung sinasabi ko po kanina, dito po kayo mamimili ng degree programs, semester, and additional requirements. May ibang degree programs po kasi na nagre-require ng additional requirements aside dun sa nire-require po talaga ng graduate school na POR and diploma. Also, dito naman po yung interface po nung sa referee information. So, kailangan nyo po input yung name ng referees, email address, and position. So, you can add madaming referees po dito. Pero for the Master in Social program, MSDS, kahit ang required po dun ay 2 recommendations. Ayan. So, summary for the GSAS and yung submit. So, ito naman po yung magiging dashboard. Dito nyo po makikita yung status ng inyong application. Sabay ko lang po dito. Ayan. So, ito po yung mga admission requirements. So, for Filipino applicants, you need to have the duly accomplished GSAS application form, a copy of your transcript of records. So, for master's degree, kailangan po yung undergraduate degree o OTR nyo. And also, kailangan din po ng inyong diploma and 2 recommendations and also the non-refundable application fee of 500 pesos. You can make the payment po at the cashier's office or via the land bank Linbis. Yeah. So the graduate school individual programs may require additional information or documents from an applicant when deemed necessary. So, like we mentioned po kanina ni Ma'am Emmy, mayroon po silang panel interview. So, all application materials will become part of the permanent records of UPLB and will not be returned to the applicant once na-submit yun na po yung mga requirements nyo. Sa mga hard copies naman po ng requirements, nare-require lang po namin siya once admitted na po kayo sa program. Pero during application process, you can submit po e-copies via GSAS. Skip ka na. Sorry. Ayan, so for the application deadlines, hindi na po siguro na-mention kanina, pero since new program po yung MSDS, ang deadline po ng application ay June 2 po. Ayan, so if you meet the minimum requirements, so for master's degree, kailangan na po may 4-year bachelor's degree po kayo. Ayan, so step 2, application with incomplete documents will not be processed and will be returned to the applicant. So make sure po na kompleto po yung mga requirements na i-upload nyo sa GSAS and also remind nyo po yung inyong mga referees to submit the recommendation. Makikita nyo din po yung status ng inyong recommendation if nakapag-submit na po sa referee nyo or hindi pa po. And also, sa step 4, wait for the result. Kailangan nyo lang pong i-check yung inyong GSAS if meron na pong result. So, dun din po magre-reflect if you're accepted as regular, probationary, or denied. And so, yun lang po. If ever po may questions po kayo, so later na lang po sa Q&A. Thank you po.
Ayan. Thank you so much, Miss Nimby. I think that's really informative, no? What Miss Nimby has shared us. Of course, palakpakan naman po natin. Let's give Miss Nimby a clap emoji. She was able to present to us the new app. Actually, the new app is very intuitive. I tried it myself, no? Bago ko natin present to everybody. It's very easy to use, and I hope that you will pursue your application at the graduate school. And now I turn over the floor to Prof. Marife Dapito, who will be the host from here on. Prof. Marife.
Thank you, Sir Ron. And again, good evening, everyone, for this info session for the MSTS. At this point in our program, I think it is one of the most exciting part because we get to interact with our participants in the Zoom. So at this point, I would like to call on our colleague from the Department of Social Development Services for the open forum. I would like to call on Assistant Professor Dr. Rita May Angbon. She is a member of the MSDS Graduate Program Management Committee. Again, take it away, Doc Rita, for the open forum.
Yes, Diyos marahay na banggi sa Indogabos kung meron po dyan sa inyo from Bicol Region. Magandang gabi naman po para sa mga nasa Tagalugan. So, yes, so at present po, no, Ma'am Emmy presented the MSDS program, and thank you also to Ma'am Nimvi naman po for presenting the process for the application. And the deadline, no, again, no, for this new program for the application is until June 2. So, malapit na din po yon. Ayan. So, actually, no, habang nagpe-presentation kanina, nakakaano po, no, umaatikabo na po ang ating chat box with the questions. So, and we are really very happy because ang taas po ng ano no ng interest ng ating mga kasama ngayong gabi. Parang hindi ano no, hindi gabi no, 'yan. Mataas ang level. So to start with, no, we have here a number of questions. Ayan. So, since the MSDS program po kasi is really designed for ano po no, for professionals, 'di ba? So, this one question is from Jaisal Luna. Ayan, no? The question here is ayan, about the ano po no, the field practicum or yung field studies. This is ito yung field studies or SDS 298. Will the field practicum course require me full-time devotion in that semester, or can I work full-time while still undergoing the field practicum, or I think this is the field studies. Ayan, si Ma'am Emmy.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Rita. Hazel, hello!
Hello po.
Ayan, oo. Okay, just a few clarification about SDS 298 for our field studies. Siya yung kapalit ng thesis because this is a non-thesis professional master's course. And you don't need to be somewhere full-time because the field studies 298 really, the main requirement is a REIT, no? Or a re-entry plan. Okay? So the re-entry plan, as the name would say, as the label would say, it's a plan. You would be needing maybe some information for you to complete and make a very good strategic plan. But it is meant to be implemented when you go back to your organization. So if there's any place that you would be going, that would be your office, that would be where you are in your workplace, no, to gather information, to put in and incorporate in your plan. Yun po.
Okay.
So it's a REAP, no, a re-entry action plan.
Okay po. Thank you for clarifying, Ma'am Emmy.
Yes, Ma'am Giselle, thank you.
Ayan. So, thank you, Ma'am Emmy, no? So,
basically, no, this program kasi, the MSDS, we have really taken into consideration that we want our practitioners in the field, no, for their enrichment, hindi na po tayo kukuha ng iba pang lugar kung saan gagawin, no, yung field studies. But doon na din po mismo sa inyong workplace, sa inyong agency, no? Doon na din po yung magiging application, yan, no, ng learnings natin from MSDS. All right. So, I hope, Ma'am Giselle, no, your question was answered. Actually, marami pong tanong si Ma'am Giselle, pero ikalat muna natin, no, sa iba nating mga participants yung other questions. So, common din po, no, na tinatanong, although earlier nabanggit na din po na sino ba yung mga pwedeng mag-apply, no? So, we have kasi received other questions as well, like, ako ay civil engineer, ako ay agriculturist, ako ay lawyer, for example, no? Pwede ba kami na mag-apply dito sa MSDS? So, sagutin ko na siguro to, Ma'am Emmy, no? Isang resounding yes. Yung sagot po doon, no? Lalo na po kung yung field talaga is in the field of, nasa development sector ka din po talaga. And we actually value the importance of having a diverse, students coming from diverse backgrounds. Bakit? Kasi yung learning will also come from the students as well. 'Di ba? Yun yung magi-enrich din ng ating experiences dito sa journey in the MSDS program. Baka may idadagdag din po si Ma'am Emmy, si Dinjen.
Yes, ma'am. I agree with you, no? Because this is a graduate program, the faculty in charge is not be a wellspring of knowledge, no? Kaya importante sa amin na sana merong at least 1 year work experience kasi your work experience, we know that you're going to enrich the discussion with the class, no? So kahit kayo ay nanggaling sa agriculture, nanggaling sa ChemEng, at kung ano pa, you're most welcome po kung kayo ay, lalong-lalo na kung kayo ay working in the development sector or if you are planning, no, to go into this career path.
Yeah. Yes, Dinjen. Go ahead, Dinjen.
Thank you, Dr. Rita. I-expound ko lang rin po yung re-entry action plan. Actually, two things. Number one po, the reason why we have a re-entry action plan, ibig sabihin, meron ka ng at least initial idea where you could apply the learnings from the MSDS is number one, we want your journey to be really applicable and targeted. Ibig sabihin po, for example, you're working in the field of livelihoods development, sustainable nature-based livelihoods development. I just came from a presentation sa Australia Awards, so that's my example. So medyo nasa ano ka na, no? Sustainable on SLED, no? So Jaisal again mentioned medyo nakalinya siya sa SLED, yung Sustainable Livelihoods and Enterprise Development. Now, most of your maybe the courses that you will take, the papers that you will do, medyo nakagiya na doon, no? So that's number one. So at least kikita natin yung practical application of the concepts and the theories discussed, no? So talagang you will get something from what you are really discussing in class. Number two, because for example, for companies or organization, no, sometimes of course they want to support our yung ating master's program, additional learning. Actually, they will gain also from that experience. But sometimes they see it na parang it's a time away from work. So what we want to bring in here on the table is sabihin sa kanila that what we are learning here is something concrete na magagamit talaga ng organization. So it's also exciting for your bosses, for your companies and organization that you will learn something that you will really apply to the communities and to the office or the organization that you work in. So I hope you appreciate, no, na ganun din yung style or the design or how we design the master's program or the MSDS program. Sige na.
Alright. Thank you din, Jen. Ayan. Sige po. So, sige, I'm scanning through the questions pa po dito, no? All right. So here, although kanina natanong na din, nabanggit na din po, no, that the design of MSDS is really blended, and that so certain days, no, will be face to face, but that will be pag-uusapan pa din naman po yan with the students and also with the faculty members in charge, and then we will primarily use online classes as well using Zoom and our learning management systems like Canvas and Google Classroom. So, dito naman po, no? Ayan. The question here is related po dun sa meron na pong mga existing na mga master's programs or previously enrolled in other programs po. Yan, other master's program. So, from Ma'am Jaisel din po ito. So I have a Master of Social Work pending a degree, no, but decided to change tracks. Ayan, no. So will this have any will this pose any challenge po or may concerns po ba kapag mag-enroll naman if she decides or to enroll po sa MSDS naman sa UPLB?
Siguro I will try to answer this together with Ma'am Ninvi from the GS, no, from the UPLB GS kasi sila yung mas nakakaalam doon sa mga protocols. But from our end in MSDS, the ones that because we're going to be managing and administering the program, we will not pose any limitation, no, or challenge. So kung kaya mo mag-enroll sa UPLB in the program, good, great, and we will embrace you 100%. Yun lang, siguro Ma'am Nimvi, ano ba ang ano doon? Kung sila ay naka-enroll sa ibang program, may kailangan ba silang gawin?
Tanong lang po, yung program po ay within UPLB din po? Or from different university po?
UP Diliman yata.
Other units, ma'am. Opo.
Kasi po bawal po kasi yung dalawang master's degree at the same time. So, kailangan niya pong mamili or kasi po sa atin po hindi po siya pwede mag-shift admission po talaga, new admission to the program. Ngayon po.
All right. Yes, din Jen, go ahead.
Hi, thank you. Thank you, Ma'am Nimby. Thank you, Ma'am Emmy. Just I think the question was ano siya, 2019 yata nag-stop, right? I think doon sa kwento. Kumbaga po, meron na siyang units sa former masters in UP Diliman. Ngayon, kumbaga, it's a new program. So basically, the answer is, it's a new program na, Jaisel. So you won't have any problems. Ang ano lang natin, if, I think, syempre, maganda rin if ma-consider some of your units. Right now, wala pa kaming ganong mechanism. Initially kasi what we included in the list of electives are just the are just courses here in UPLB. Tapos yun nga, I think the ang issue rin kasi this was taken before you were enrolled in the MSDS. So medyo it's a tricky rin. So currently right now the initial answer is walang problema, pwede yon, but this will be considered as a new program. So yung if ma-consider some of your units, we'll still explore it maybe, Ma'am Nimby, no? And check it. Pero initially ang is the time, no? Kasi it was taken before you were Usually kasi what we consider if ever no in the bachelor's, for example, if there's cross-enrolling, during the time you're enrolled in that BS or in that master's. So yeah, we'll get back to you on that, but definitely you won't have a problem in enrolling in a new master's program here in UPLB. Maraming salamat.
All right. Thank you din, Jen. Thank you, Ma'am Nimvi and Ma'am Emmy. So, ito naman pong question na to, related naman po to sa mga courses. All right? So, for example, saan po yung mga colleges na offered yung mga iba't ibang specialization? So, maybe we can share with our mga participants here yung mga ano po natin, yung mga courses and that anong colleges po yung mga nag-o-offer. Like for example, for SLED, for ST, SDS, and SDS-DRM.
Yes po. Ah, kung sa SLED, ang malapit na kausap natin ay College of Economics and Management, no? Kasi enterprise development, social entrepreneurship, and yun yung mga courses. And of course, if you really want to deep dive into the financial uh, ano to, uh, know-how, then courses will be coming from STEM. But there are also courses from SIPA, okay, that we have really classified under SLED, no, under this particular track. So kung iba naman, kung DRM naman, the closest that we have are those coming from SESAM, courses being offered and administered by SESAM, and yeah, and engineering meron din, depende sa ano ang makakatulong sa inyong REAP, no, yung inyong re-entry action plan, no, and even CAPS, no, College of Agriculture and Food Science, no, meron din. So the good thing about this program is it's flexible because once you come in on your first sem, you're going to be, kumbaga, there will be close engagement and advising, no, and mentoring, so that you can choose kung alam mo na kung ano yung iyong track, then pag-usapan natin what would be the courses that you would want to take that will feed to your uh, field studies and completing the degree program. So, marami sa mga courses natin nakalista would be coming from SESAM and CAPS for the DRM, and for um, STIB, for ano to, social technology for institution building. I guess many of the courses that we have would be from other units in the College of Human Ecology, because some of you might be working on projects or programs that deal with families and children. And so we have a lot of courses under the Department of Human Family, HFDS, Human and Family Development Studies, no? But it's also possible to have it under the other colleges. So we share naman po, NIMV will attest to that, that the courses are all under the graduate school.
All right. Thank you, Ma'am Emmy. So this one question naman po from Kyle. Ayan, Saga, no? Sagutin ko na po yung third question niya, if it is feasible to enroll, no? Sa program through online process. So the answer is yes. As discussed earlier by Ma'am Nimvi, no? So online po yung application natin through the portal. Ayan. The next question is related to how, no? The program is going to be offered. So, is it feasible for me to enroll in the program if I reside and work in the Visayas region, for example, no? Maybe ang concern dito is like how often will the face-to-face classes be, no? Since it's gonna be blended, ayan, no? Because it will entail also travel, no? From different parts of the country, yan. So, ayan, Ma'am Emmy or Dinjen? Yes, go ahead, Dinjen.
Regarding we do recognize, sabi nga po ni Doc Rita, that there are students coming from different parts of the Philippines who might be interested to enroll in the program. So what we initially envision, most of the classes, no, could be hybrid. Meaning, for example, if your base talagang mahirap po pumunta sa LB, then you could do it online. But for those who are just here, you could attend the actual class. So we could do hybrid. Ang naisip namin, for example, for those living malayo, no, we will schedule it way ahead of time. Usually, for example, for presentation of your final outputs or exam, for instance. So yun lang yung time na talaga you really need to be here. So siguro po, but it will depend on the discussion as well with your faculty members, no? Pero kumbaga po, the least, no? For example, we have one midterm and then one at the end. Yun talagang face-to-face that you really need to be here in Los Baños. But yeah, we could work around it because we do recognize that this program is really for professionals. So, yeah, yeah. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you, Dean Jen. So I do hope na sagot yung question, no, ni Kyle. Ayan, about it. So, yun, no, yung schedule naman ng F2F classes will be, ano naman, no, communicated in advance talaga. Kasi nga, yun, para din makapag-prepare din, no, yung ating mga students who will come from, ano, no, from areas outside of Calabarzon, no, na kailangan magbiyahe ng mas malayo. This one naman po, ayan, mukhang ano na po sila eh. Very interested na din po to apply, no? So, for example, no, sabi dito ni Jeremy, yan, no? If I'm not yet part of the development sector, di ba? But, I'm actively trying to shift careers towards yung mga about sustainability. Can I be considered in the program? And the answer is a resounding yes. Okay po. Yes, of course. Oo naman, yes. Yan. And, also, question related to, ayan, deadlines. Opo, ayun. Because earlier, no, sinabi natin, because this is a new program and the deadline was extended. June 2, marami po nagtatanong dito, baka naman, ayun, no? Ma-extend po yung deadline because, for example, we have one na still waiting for the approval, no? Of the organization to apply for the program. The other, yung iba naman po, nintay pa yung kanilang mga official transcript of records or diploma. Yan, no? So yun, the question is kung pwede pa bang mag-extend yung deadline na June 2? Maybe from grad school.
Ma'am Nimvi.
Ma'am Nimvi.
Hello. Hello po. Ma'am, depende po yun sa magiging approval if magre-request po ng another extension ang department niyo po. Pero yun po, ang application po ng ng applicants po for MSDS, kasama na po siya sa batch 3 ng applicants. So, ang ina-expect po kasi namin na mabigay namin yung results sa batch 3 ay June 30. So, if kaya po ng department na ma-evaluate po since kaka-release lang din po ng ating academic calendar. Ang registration po kasi ay magsa-start ng August 5 pa naman. Pero if mga new students po kasi meron silang mga pre-registration, usually nagsa-start ng mga July po for their medical exam. So, ayun po. Mag-request na lang po siguro if ever kay Sir Jomar if magpapa-extend pa po ng deadline. Pero so far lang po, inform ko na din po pala yung department. We have already 14 applications for MSDS na currently po pinaprocess po ng graduate school. Yan po.
Alright. Baka madadagdagan pa yan, ma'am. Kaya humihingi sila ng extension. Dean Jen, go ahead.
Apo. So, yeah, thank you, Nimvi, for that reassurance. Because this is the first time that we will offer it, I think the grad school is kind of, in terms of the deadline, really supporting us, no? So just let us know, please do email the department if you really need time, no? Wag lang po yung time ay December 20, kasi next sem na po yan. But, if you need time, just, for example, second week of June, just let us know. Pag marami po kasing nag-request, then we have a basis for really extending it before the actual deadline po ng GS. So that's one. Ma'am, meron lang po akong gustong i-add. Doon sa re-entry action plan, in the form that we shared po in our web page, Google site, may nakalagay po kasi doon na, kasi ano ko yung comment ni, is it Kyle? Or na hindi pa po ako connected or kumaga, kakatapos siya lang and transferring to an office or organization. Meron kasi nakalagay doon na dapat medyo signed off ba siya ng boss niya or ng someone who will recommend no that re-entry action plan. Don't worry po kung wala po talaga you're in between jobs or okay lang po 'yon. So leave it blank no pero maganda rin na may idea kayo kung saan possible pwedeng sa barangay nyo, pwedeng in an organization where you volunteer with. So pwede rin naman po 'yon. So kahit wala pong signature, okay lang. Tama po ba, Ma'am Ems? So,
Yes, ma'am. Opo. Oo. Ano naman, we are very flexible, and because it's our first time na, we're open, no, to a lot of flexibility. So kung hindi siya galing sa development sector, actually excited kami to be working with the likes of you, no, and guide you kung hanap mo ng dito ba.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. So, ito pong next question from Miko. Ayan, no? About dun sa part about seminar. So, I'll just read the question, ano po. I'm not sure if this is already asked. Meron po ba nung seminars na ladderized which I can take while I am pursuing a different graduate course daw po?
Sa ngayon, inaayos pa natin. We're still fixing the micro-credentials and the ladderized program. Yeah, but I would also want to reiterate yung sinabi kanina ni Ma'am Nimvi na you cannot be in two different programs at the same time, especially from UP. Kasi isa sa requirements, no, ay yung TOR mo, dapat naka-incorporate na doon sa TOR mo yung mga na-take mo. So, hindi naman yun ibibigay sa'yo ng current school mo hanggang hindi ka nila nire-release, no? Oo, hindi ka nag-honorable dismissal or hindi ka nag-a-apply for it dahil tapos mo na. So doon sa mga na-excite sila sa ating program pero nagtatapos na sila, may magtatapos yata ng September. So ang ano niya is, gusto ko na kunin ito ng first sem pero mag-graduate ako ng September. Ano ang advice? No? So ako ang advice ko sa ganun, tapusin mo na yung hanggang September. Tapos see you on the second
Second
semester.
semester, entry point, yeah.
Yes.
Alright. So that's kay John Laysons ask a question actually, ma'am. Sakto sinagot mo na, Ma'am Emmy, kasi idudugtong ko sana siya eh. Alright. Meron din po tayong question. Dito naman po, no, from Jimwell. Ayan. Sabi po niya, can the completion of the program qualify students po para sa licensure examination, for example, ng social work or environmental planning?
Fortunate kay Jimwell, no? Alam ko si Jimwell nag-take siya ng social
Hi, ma'am.
work. Oo. Unfortunately, the MSDS program is not designed for it to take the place of a professional track for social work or environmental planning.
Mm-mm. Yan. Pero kung social work, you are BS social work, pwede kang mag-MSDS.
Yes.
Diba, ma'am, no? Yan.
Yes po.
Yes, go ahead din, Jenny. Go ahead po.
Sorry po, bigla ako na kay Attorney Miko. Attorney Miko, I saw your question. Sorry, I have to address it. Kasi kanina sabi natin, sabi po ni Nimby, no, hindi pwedeng sabay na masters. Yun po ay sa UP system. For example, you're taking your master's in UP Diliman or you have a ongoing master's here in UPLB, tapos magma-master's pa po kayo ng isa. Unfortunately po, wala po tayong double master's pa ngayon. Although I know in other universities abroad, they have that, no? Yung dalawa-dalawa yung degree mo. But it's silent in terms of, for example, you're taking a master's in another university and then tama ba, Nimby? Ay may tapos UPLB. Wala naman tayo doon, 'di ba? We don't naman po. Meron kang nagba-masters ka doon as long as kaya mo yung masters din natin. Tama ba? Thank you.
Actually, silent nga din po dun kasi we have also students na may kinukuhang subjects abroad. May mga ganun pong case pero hindi po nila ina-inform sa atin. And yung records nila, hindi po napapasama sa transcript po ng UPLB once na nakagraduate po sila. Ayun po.
So, technically, Attorney Miko, pwede. Tapos may tanong lang po si Attorney Miko, Doc Rita, regarding doon sa kung pwede ba siyang seminar or take a course. It could be
Yeah.
edited later on, parang ladder-rise. Fortunately, we already have the micro-credentials guidelines from CHED. The university is also kind of contextualizing it sa konteksto ng UP, ng the Philippines as well. So what we're doing right now with the graduate school, they're taking the number of hours that particular course is taken. Tapos later on, once na ma-firm up na yung micro-credential, hopefully in the coming months or early next year, ma-finalize na yung micro-credential guidelines para at least medyo concrete. But we do have a mechanism with the GS where they could take note of the number of hours you've taken in that particular course para later on, when the guidelines is established, formalized, pwede na natin makonsider yun. So yun lang po. Marami pong salamat.
Right. Thank you din, Jen. Ma'am Emmy, yes, go ahead po.
Yes, ma'am. Doon lang po sa tanong na kumukuha ng degree program somewhere else and here yung being silent, no? Ang mahalaga po kasi yata, ma'am Nimby, correct me if I'm wrong, is when you apply, there are requirements, there are documents. So, kung kung makakomply nyo po yung documents for application, ma-release yung inyong TOR, yung mga ganon, then go tayo doon, Ma'am Nimby, di ba? So it depends on whether or not you'll be able to comply with the requirements. Otherwise, we don't meddle with the other parts of each other's lives.
Yan. So, ito naman, ma'ams, because of the update nga ni Ma'am Nimvi na meron na tayong 14 applicants. Question po ni Louis Esguera, kung may quota po ba na number ng mga tatanggaping enrollees po for this program, especially for the first semester.
Well, for first time offering, no? So this is a good problem, okay? So
Problem.
but we're not so we're not posing. I guess we hindi naman tayo ever kahit anong program, we don't set a cap na tapos na, bawal lang mag-apply. You can just apply, and then we will be coming up with strategies on how to handle it, because definitely we will not, there's a limit in the number of students that we can have in a graduate class. Maybe not because we want to limit it because we don't want more students, but because there are resources, no, and there are activities that are best delivered. Okay, some requirements that are best delivered when you have a relatively smaller class size. Hindi naman yung 50, di ba? Parang baka kung ano nang mangyari sa ating mga faculty in charge, kakabasa ng ano. So yeah, but we will devise strategies and ways how to go about it. Like maybe if we have more than what we can carry in one class in 201, we can have two sections, yung mga ganon. So apply lang po kayo, and we'll see about your applications. There's no limit po.
All right, thank you, ma'am. So ito naman po no, sa ating pong chat box din lumalabas na din po yung mga preferences in terms of the specializations, no. Here po question about sa yan, magandang question ni Ma'am Jaisel din, no, because Ma'am Jaisel, na you're starting. Ayan, congratulations po, no, on your own social enterprise. Yan. So the question po is how beneficial would it be for her, no, to take the SLED specialization as someone who is trying to build her own startup social enterprise for women empowerment, and are there management courses under SLED po that she can benefit from, no, as the proprietor, and also how deep we discuss gender equality and gender justice as our SE aims for women empowerment. The last one, partially sinagot na rin po ni Dino sa chat box, but for siguro po expound lang natin din, ano ba yung nilalaman nung SLED na ano po no na specialization, and in the same way po na meron din po tayo ditong interested naman po sa DRM. Ayan. So, ang tanong niya po is, may I know po, rate per unit naman ng CDRM. Baka dun po siya interested din naman po sa SDS DRM specialization ng MSDS. Ayan po. Ma'am Emmy and Dinjen?
Doc Rita and Ma'am Jen, andito yata si Sir Dino.
Ayan, Sir Dino.
Yeah, Sir Dino is one of our key faculty for the SLED, no? So Sir Dino, ano kayang magandang sagot dito kay Jaisel? And then for DRM, I will humbly throw it to Sir Ron as one of our
Yan. Sir Dino, ayan.
Hi, magandang gabi po sa lahat. Opo, I think for that particular question, meron po tayong isang course to address on that, yung social enterprises within the context of social development. And I think part of the topics that will be covered will be on women empowerment because sectoral nga yung pagtingin natin dun sa iba't ibang mga issues and concerns related on that. Secondly, I think Ma'am Emmy, mahalaga rin po mabanggit natin na yung sinasabi natin na co-production of knowledge, meaning to say we will be inviting other practitioners, no? We will be inviting resource persons within that particular sector para mas ma-enrich po natin yung mga discussion. So in between, may mga resource persons, may mga lecturers, meron tayong mga colleagues na nandun to be part of the learning processes. So short of saying na hindi mamomonopolize po yung sharing natin. But then again, if we wanted to further deepen other areas of concerns, may mga ano naman po, may mga extra courses sa SOSIO, sa DMG, sa SEM, no, na po pwede nating i-realign sa extension education na po pwedeng makadagdag, no. Depende lang, kailangan lang siguro po Ma'am Amy and Jaisel, hi Jaisel, na mag-level off, no, in terms of gaano kalalim. Kasi kumbaga introduction din kasi siya eh, no. So kung ano ba, anong klaseng scope pa yung gustong i-unpack pagdating doon sa women empowerment, although minention na ni Dean na ano siya naka-scattered no in other courses like social inclusion no doon sa mga subjects na yon. So yun po. Thank you Ma'am Emmy.
Thank you Sir Dino. Regarding DRM po, is Sir Ron around?
Tama po ba, Ma'am Emmy? Ang question is, ano po yung mga courses that may fall under DRM? Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Meron po tayong dalawang course na ino-offer sa DSDS. Ito po yung bagong course na in-institute, yung Transdisciplinary Approach and Tools in DRM. So, maganda po ito, especially if we're working across multiple disciplines and sectors. And we also have community-based disaster risk management. So, again, ito po yung mas community-based. I think it will be appreciated by our colleagues like MDreamOs, PDreamOs, and also those working in CSR, Comrel, or the private sector. We also have the more science side of the RM. You can take any of the three. Yung SERP 295, it's quantitative methods for spatial planning. Mapping po ito. We also have FRM 204. Ito po yung geospatial methods in natural resource management. Kung medyo NRM po yung gusto nating i-focus. And we also have ABE 142 or geometeorology. So those who would like to take it, mas meteorology yung gusto i-focus. Then on governance, we have courses at CIPAF. yung DMG 224, ito po yung Governance Framework for Disaster Risk Reduction and Climate Change Adaptation. And I think from DevCom, this excites me a lot. Baka pwede rin po tayong is environmental communication. So these are some of the courses that you will be getting. So as you can see, it's very interdisciplinary. You will be getting some more on to have yung focus, yung transdisciplinary focus within CHE, pero yung mas practical application that you can use, for example, in your work in appreciating maps, kung wari, or appreciating policies, or communicate yung mga risk, we included that in the specialization program. Salamat po.
All right. Thank you, Sir Dino and Sir Ron. Ayan po. So, meron din po kasi ditong nagtatanong about yung mga core courses, no? Tsaka tracks and specialization. So, meron po tayong apat, no, na core courses. And then, for the tracks po, meron tayong tatlong tracks for specialization. Now, yung tanong po dito is that si Sir John, no, is currently working sa agriculture sector. And at the same time, finishing master's program sa UP Open University. So, kung ganun po, anong track or ano yung specialization po ang magiging applicable sa kanya? Well, actually, kayo din naman po yung pipili ng track talaga. But the specializations that we offer po are social technologies for social development and sustainability. Then we also have the disaster risk management naman po, no? For social development and sustainability, and also our sustainable livelihood enterprise development. So, yun po yung tatlong tracks, and we can actually, ano po, no, nakadepende din naman po sa inyong re-entry plan, paano po yung magiging actual na application nito, no? In your agency or in your ano no field of work po or field of expertise as well. So pwede po 'yun na kayo din po actually no yung mag-a-align doon na paano yung magiging actual application din po nitong nung napili niyo din pong track sa inyo pong field as well. Let's see. Ayan. Ano pa ba yung mga questions dito? Rates per unit. So, earlier na-discuss na din po no, ni Ma'am Emmy yung rates po natin per unit. For the first semester po, 1,500 per unit yung rate natin. Yan po. That's for the first sem, no? And then for the next sems po, depende pa po yan kung magkaroon ng changes in the rates as well. Okay, so let's check the other questions. All right. Ayan. From Irish naman, no? Will we be able to discuss ESG reporting in any part of the program, no? Because very interested to learn more on it as it would be most helpful sa kanyang current work as consultant. Ayan. So, question on ESG. Yan, reporting. At saang part po siya, no? Ng atin pong MSDS program mako-cover. Yan. Ma'am Emmy and din, Jen.
Yes, ma'am. I'll throw it to Ma'am Jen in a little while. Yeah, good evening, Irish. Irish, we miss you. Oo. Isa ito sa main thrust ng ating MSDS program to really develop a cadre of graduates who can work as sustainability officers, or at least part of the sustainability offices of different organizations. So not just in the industry or the private corporations, but we want our graduates to be prepared also for doing sustainability reporting and ESG, given where they are, no, not just corporate setting. Pwede itong mga ESG for small and micro agro enterprises, pwedeng sa HEIs, no, for sustainability reporting of universities, no, and SUC. So malamang-lamang, Irish, sa umpisa pa lang, when you get 201, if you're going to take the program, isasalang ka sa core courses, and ESG and sustainability reporting will already be tawag nito, taken up, no, chunk by chunk, in the different core courses. Okay, 203, in 201, and even in 202 on social innovations. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be teaching all those courses. Si Ma'am Jen would know sa 203 siguro. Will you be taking this up, Ma'am Jen?
Thank you, Ma'am Ems. Apo, definitely. Hi, Irish. Ayan, Irish is one of my thesis advisees. Hello po, Irish. Opo, definitely po, the ES, as mentioned by Ma'am Emmy, in support of that, apart from ESG, as you know, in our undergraduate sustainability science course, we do have other frameworks as well when we talk about sustainability monitoring and reporting. So, tignan din natin yun, Irish, especially the different best practices and innovative practices, no, nag-i-evolve din kasi yung yung sustainability reporting and frameworks as well. So we'll definitely discuss that. And ang ano rin po for everyone here, hindi lang po yung mga faces namin na makikita niyo sa klase. Definitely, number one, we'll really work with development organizations and organizations working on sustainability. So we'll be inviting a number of lecturers as well, a number of, we'll go, may tanong dito, Doc Rita, meron daw bang field work? It's either excited siyang mag-field work or ayaw niya mag-field work. Pero alam ng mga estudyante natin here, those who graduate from BSHE, that we really value the time we spend with co-learning with our community. So definitely there are times that we need to go to some communities or some organizations. As mentioned, this might affect yung presence nyo, no, na here in Los Baños or in a community. So we'll definitely discuss that. Or what we could do as well is maybe, visit the organization that you're working with, show to us your projects, programs. It's an exciting time to also showcase what you're doing, no? Ang maganda rin dito is, kaya gusto nga namin, sabi nga ni Doc Rita, no, yung diverse yung cohort, because we want to really learn from each other, no? Coming from our experience, master's program namin, PhD and exchange programs, maganda po yung diverse yung cohort, and also seeing in actuality yung mga programs that are being discussed in class. So we do value that po. So definitely there are, but definitely it's scheduled. We'll discuss that with the class. So thank you very much.
Yan. Thank you very much din, Jen. Ayan. I think parang ano na tayo, no? Ayan. Time check po. Yan, no? 10:00 na po ng gabi. Hindi, joke lang. It's 8:10 in the evening. And if ano po, if ever po ba na may mga ibang questions pa, ayan, no? If ever po na may mga questions pa, please do, visit our website. Ayan, I think it's gonna be shown also later, no? Para po makita din ninyo yung iba pa pong mga details about the MSDS program. So, ayan, no? Nakakatuwa po dahil napakaraming mga very insightful questions and questions that are leading towards, mag-a-apply na. Ayan, no? Nagpa-prepare na din po ng mga kanilang mga mga requirements. Ayan. So, do we still have other questions po? Going once? Going twice? All right. So, since I think we have covered, no, almost all of the questions that were posted sa ating Q&A box and chat box, and also dun sa mga paunang mga tanong na pinadala po sa atin through our, Google form. All right. So, if you are, no, interested, nasa ating chat box lang po if you're interested to know more about the program. And with that, thank you very much, everyone. And I turn you over again to Sir Ron and to Ma'am Mafe po. Ayan. So, thank you. Thank you din, Jen. Thank you, Ma'am Emmy, Sir Dino, and Sir Ron as well. And to Ma'am
Thank,
Nimi as well. Yan po.
thank you, Dr. Rita, for facilitating the open forum. And of course, our colleagues, Ma'am Nimi, Ma'am Emmy, Ma'am Jen, Sir Ron, Doc Dino, for sa pagbahagi, ng mga information that would help our potential enrollees, the necessary information that will help them decide, or probably nakapag-decide na sila dahil naninawa na sila sa mga katanungan na naglalaro sa kanilang isipan since nung nalaman nila na meron ng MS Social Development and Sustainability. Especially to our alumni, no? As mentioned kanina din sa chat ni Attorney Miko, no? They've been waiting for this. No, matagal na po talagang inaantay, and we hope that those who are waiting for the program are already decided, or at least alam na nila kung kailan sila papasok, ano yung mga kailangan nilang i-prepare for the application. So again, thank you for active participation in the open forum. As mentioned by Dr. Rita, we've covered most of your questions that in the chat box pertaining to the application process and delivery of the program for the first semester 2025-2026. And we look forward to your application for the MSDS program. No, we're excited doon sa balita ni Ma'am kanina that we already have 14 participants, no? And I think marami pang susunod, no? And again, no, a reminder to those who are asking, no, if the deadline could be extended, please do email us, as mentioned by Dean Jen, no, at dsdsche.uplb@up.edu.ph for your concern regarding the application, so we could assess if we have time to or we could extend the deadline. No? So again, please take note of the email, dsdsche.uplb@up.edu.ph, or you could also visit our website. I think it will also be shared in our chat box, dsds.che.uplb.edu.ph. So again, no, we'll be waiting for your email for your application, and the time check, no, we extended beyond 8 p.m. no, but I think it has been an insightful and productive time for us to clarify your questions and give information on the first delivery of the Master in Social Development and Sustainability. So we are almost at the end of the program, but of course, before we let you go, we invite everyone to listen to the closing remarks to be delivered by Associate Professor Maria Charisma T. Malenab, the Chair of Department of Social Development Services and the Chair of MSDS GPMC College of Human Ecology. Take it away, Ma'am Chris. Sige po, I think Doc Chris is not in the Zoom, but I guess okay lang po ba, Dean, that you provide closing remarks for our guest this evening for joining the info session for our MSDS program delivery this coming semester 2025-2026. Thank you, Dean.
Thank you po, Mamafe, and thank you very much to our colleagues, to our dear alumni. We're actually mas excited pa talaga kami, no, to welcome our dear alumni again, and also to our new colleagues and NIMV. Thank you very much to GS, my colleagues here at the College of Human Ecology, Department of Social Development Services, and to all who participated in this info webinar for the Masters in Social Development and Sustainability. I know busy po lahat, tama, no? Meron po bang hindi busy dito? Ayan. Meron po bang hindi pagod? Ayan. But definitely, a master's program is really life-changing, no? At least for us, no, who took our master's already. Number one, it's really an investment for yourself, especially now that we are in a knowledge society, very critical that we continue to upgrade our knowledge, skills, and attitude. Second, it's an investment in terms of interacting and co-learning with our colleagues. No, it's very important that we have this platform where we share our experiences, we learn from each other, and we also contribute, no, to our advocacy of social development and sustainability. And lastly, we hope that you find time, no? And I know we're all busy, we all have lots of things to do, but we are here to support your journey. Just let us know how we could help in terms of the application, in terms of your journey here when you become one of the cohort members, particularly the first batch. And the College of Human Ecology, Department of Social Development Services is really excited to welcome you, no, the pioneer batch for the Masters in Social Development and Sustainability. Isang mapagkalingang gabi sa ating lahat. God bless us all.
Thank you so much, Dean. Again, we thank everyone for your attendance to this info session. We look forward to receiving your application in the coming days. And again, thank you and have a great evening.